I just started a study today on the book of Romans, and I actually only got in the first 15 verses of the first chapter, and already I'm super encouraged and learning so much. And something just really stuck out to me today that I wanted to share with you. I assume that you know that the book of Romans is a letter that was written to the church in Rome by the Apostle Paul. And at the beginning of this letter, he talks about how he's been praying for so long for a prosperous trip to Rome. He had been praying to God that he would be able to make this trip to Rome to visit the church there. And he talks about it wanting it to be a successful or a prosperous trip to Rome. Now, we know from the book of Acts, the very end of the book of Acts, that Paul talks about actually how that trip to Rome took place. He was actually a prisoner in chains. He was sent on a ship. He was out at sea through a terrible storm and gone 14 days without food. He was shipwrecked on an island, and on that island he was bitten by a viper, and then eventually he ends up in Rome. Now, by all accounts, especially here in our culture in America, that does not sound like a successful or a prosperous trip to Rome. He had been praying and asking God for that trip to Rome to be successful. And by all accounts, that is not successful. The way he got there sounds like it was a horrible experience. But what does the word prosperous mean? In God's terms, what prosperous or successful means is that you're actually fulfilling the will of God in your life. So Paul actually did have a successful and prosperous trip to Rome because he ended up getting to Rome, sending these letters to the church there, sharing the gospel, and really advancing the church. And so many people came to know the Lord through his time there. So while it doesn't look like it was successful because all these things happened while he was on his way there, it actually was a successful trip because he fulfilled the will of God for his life. And it got me thinking about my own life, and I'm sure you can relate. We have these plans, these things in our future that we're working towards, these ideas, these plans, and we're praying often for God to bless those plans. Often my prayers sound like, God, protect me, protect my family, bless me in this, make this happen, open that door, prevent something from keeping me from getting to this place or this thing that I'm trying to accomplish. And for myself, I'm praying always that God would use my life, that he would expand my ministry, that I would be able to reach more and more people and encourage people and teach people about the Lord. And in my life right now, I feel kind of sidetracked. I was diagnosed with breast cancer, had to have a double mastectomy, and I'm currently going through chemotherapy, and then I have to do radiation. And all these months of all these things, all this suffering that I have to endure. And sometimes I feel like, wait, I've been praying for all of this success and all this prosper in these things that I thought that God wanted me to do, and now here I am battling cancer. But if I am fulfilling what God wants for me to do, if I'm fulfilling the will of God in my life, then I am prosperous. And he uses all of these things that happen in our lives for different reasons. And God will always work out all these things for good, for those that love the Lord. So even in the midst of pain and suffering and trial, we can trust that if we're steadfast and we're going after God and we're seeking him and we really want to do his will, he will prosper us and we will accomplish what he's called us to do. And so I want to encourage you today. And I don't know what it is you're facing, if it's a diagnosis or a sickness, health issues, maybe it's trouble with your finances, maybe there's brokenness in your family or a real pain that you're suffering with internally. I want to encourage you to continue to seek the Lord and tell you that if you are fulfilling the will of God, you will be prosperous and you will be successful. So I pray that blesses you.